Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Tango Romeo 87, the bus build days. So today we're going to do a video that's been requested wildly on my social media accounts and some on YouTube. Some people we follow on YouTube, up and coming people, said make a video, a basic video on how you make videos and get started on YouTube so that people will watch your videos. So this is going to be a very basic introduction into how to make a video for YouTube and how to get it published on YouTube and how to get people to watch that video. One thing to keep in mind, and I ask every single time, and we've done good, 95% of people who watch our videos are not subscribed. So if you're one of those 95%, go ahead and click the subscribe button now. Hit the bell for notification so that you're notified when we put a new video out each week, and give us a thumbs up and make a comment below. Tell me what you'd like to see in the next videos. When we bought the bus in March, in July we were monetized. We had our 1,000 subscribers that we needed, and we had over 11,000 view hours. So it's very possible to do. So today's video is just going to be the basics on basic equipment needed, and the key thing to a YouTube channel and making it work is make a video, edit it, and upload it. Don't worry about what people think. Yeah, your voice sounds ridiculous the first time you hear it. You're like, ah, is that me talking? But it is who you are, and it's what people have heard your whole life. Make the video and upload it, and keep making content and keep uploading it, and your channel will become successful. So today, let's go inside where we can get out of this heat and cover the basics of the equipment and what it takes to get videos online. Hey guys, welcome back to Tango Romeo 87. This episode is going to be a little bit different than anything we've done in the past, as we explained a little bit earlier. A lot of requests have been on my social media across Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and YouTube. People say, how do you get a YouTube channel started? So in this video, if you stick around to the end, we're going to cover an introduction to YouTube, what YouTube is, what it's become, how it can help you, and how you monetize your channel if you want to make some income off the videos you make. We're going to cover the basic equipment needed. You don't need to spend a fortune. You probably already have everything you need to film good YouTube videos if you've got a cell phone, and add a few other pieces. We're going to talk about how to film, what's important when you film, what's aesthetically pleasing, what works, and we're going to cover the audio and how important it is to have good audio that's consistent throughout the video so you can keep people away from that remote control. Because if they have to adjust that volume every time they come to a new section, they'll eventually leave the video because they'll be frustrated. We're going to cover adding music to videos and how you get copyright infringements and copyright violations that can cancel your YouTube channel or make it where you can't ever monetize the channel. Where we get our music and how to put that music into video correctly. We're going to talk about, particularly for iPhone users, how you download the video from your phone and get it onto a PC without pulling all your hair out. As you can see, I struggled in the beginning and I have no hair left. Then we're going to cover, once you get that into your computer, how to edit that raw video into a usable video for YouTube, how to take out the parts that just didn't work out right, how to blend them together, how to add transitions, and basic editing. And we'll explain a software that's really good and really easy to use for that. We'll talk about thumbnails, how you create thumbnails that are dynamic enough that people see it, they click it. Pretty simple process. There's a couple free options to create thumbnails. Then you've got to work on your title, your descriptions, and your tags when you upload that video to YouTube so that everything matches and meets the algorithm that'll get your videos in front of people. Finally, once all that's done, we'll talk about how to publish the video. Once the video is published onto your channel, onto your platform, then we'll talk about how some simple ways to promote that video to start getting your views up and your users up. So let's move on and get into the introduction to YouTube, how it works, how you get a monetized channel, and how you make it work for you. Let's talk about YouTube. YouTube started as a place to share videos and was subsequently bought by Google when they wanted to make a lot of money off advertising on the platform. As YouTube's grown, it's become the second largest search engine, only surpassed by Google itself. The neat thing about it being owned by Google is Once your videos are searchable and found on YouTube, they typically are also, when people do a search on Google, they get highlighted in the YouTube section on a Google search. Everything's driven by tag, title, and description. And we'll go through that later in the video. When you upload a new video, you give it a title, you give it a description. The title's short, the description's longer, and then you put tags in that video. The tags that match in the title, the description, and the tags, those words that go across, help you a whole lot. But one other thing that YouTube does is, while you're uploading that video, they use an AI to transcribe everything you talk about in that video. So the keywords that you're trying to use, they're looking to see if you say those while you're creating your video. And we'll move on now to the second section that we're going to discuss today, which is the equipment that you need to make good videos that people will watch on YouTube. Equipment is pretty basic. To get started on YouTube, you do not need to go out and spend a lot of money on a big Canon camera or a Sony camera or any of these things these other creators are talking about. These are people that are already earning money on YouTube, or they just have a lot of money laying around that they can waste. I take my extra money and put it into building a bus. So in order to film a YouTube channel and get your videos uploaded, you need a couple basic things. You need a cell phone, and it could be an Android or an iPhone, either one. As long as it's got a pretty decent camera system in it. I film with both iPhone and Android at different times. This is my Android phone. It's an LG. It's got a pretty good camera system on it. My primary phone, the one I'm filming on right now, is an iPhone 8 Plus. I like it because it has a few more settings on it. You need a tripod. Tripod holds your camera still and allows you to have a conversation and move across the room and do what you need to do when you're trying to take those still shots. So a good tripod. Amazon Basics has a tripod that's pretty cheap. We'll put a link down below to all of the equipment we're talking about today. You have to have a way to mount your phone to your tripod. So let me set the tripod now. Another thing that I recommend is a selfie stick. Now I like these with the little bendy things because there's times that I can just wrap this around something, these bend. I can make it shorter, taller, I can do what I want. You need this piece that goes on top. This is what mounts it to the tripod and allows you to put your cell phone in here and it'll hold your phone. Those are the basic things that you need. If your phone's got a decent camera in it and it's got a decent microphone in it, you know, the iPhone has 3 microphones, so it's constantly looking for the best sound rhythm. You can film a great channel and put out a lot of great content with just a cell phone and a tripod. So the next thing that we're going to talk about, now that we have our basic equipment, we have our phone in hand, is how to film, how to get things right. So we'll move on to that section now and talk about some of the basics that you need to film so you don't make mistakes that are costly in the end. Okay, so let's talk about how to film, how to make a video that everyone is going to enjoy, that is aesthetically pleasing with great visual effects. But this isn't it. This is all the wrong thing. So I'm going to cover a couple things right here in this first segment. One, when you're filming for YouTube, never have your phone in the straight up and down mode. Your phone does not go like this when you're filming. It goes like this. This is an Instagram video. This is a YouTube video. YouTube does everything in widescreen, and that's what people who watch YouTube expect to see. So first adjustment we'll make is we'll turn our phone back to the correct direction and get ourselves in landscape. People don't want to see a little tiny section in the center of their TV set with all this wasted space out here. So get your phone turned around the correct direction first. Now, the second thing is we've got a window here that's washing out. We've got a horrible look. So let's adjust that. So we'll turn this automatic off. We'll unlock that and we'll switch our white balance around where we can see a little bit of out that window so people know that's outside, and they can also see a little bit of us. And we'll adjust our color down. Now, how I adjust those things to get a better image is I use a program called Filmic Pro. That's Filmic Pro, Filmic Pro, available in both app stores for the Android and the iPhone. It's a relatively cheap piece of software that goes on your phone that allows you to have all of the controls, basically all of the controls of a more expensive camera. You can adjust your white balance, your shutter speeds, your focal points, you can lock focus points, you can lock your white balance, and that way when I move and I move back and forth, you see that the white balance on the camera itself doesn't change. Now if I unlock that and I move around, I can get everything. You see how it flashes brighter and lighter? Don't really want that. So we'll lock that. I'm talking to you right now, but I'm not, because I'm talking to myself. The camera is over there. So I have to remember when I'm filming to look at the camera and not look at myself. And I see a lot of people that do that, and it's a bad habit to break, to not want to, because now I can see what I'm doing, and now I can animate myself, and when I'm looking at the camera, I just have a peripheral view of myself. So always look directly into the center of the lens of the camera so that you're addressing your audience. It's a key part. The standard rule of thumb in video is when you're using a tripod, keep your camera lens level with your eyes. So we'll move on to our next thing now, which is audio, which is, if video is important because people want to see a good video, the audio has to be good. So let's move into audio, and I want to talk a little bit more on what goes wrong with audio and how you can correct that. Okay, so this section is going to be on the audio that you have in a video. Once again, Filmic Pro is a leader in that, because the entire time you're filming your video, you have a little bar dancing across the bottom that tells you when you're hitting your peaks and when you're hitting your lows. The biggest problem I see with videos, particularly with people starting out, and I really like to watch channels when people have put out 3 or 4 videos and they're just getting started, because it's pretty raw. But one of the things they do is, in one section, they're talking at this level right here, and they talk for that a while, and then you adjust the volume on your television set, and you get it up to where you can hear it comfortably, and then they start talking like this, and now your TV's screaming at you, or your cell phone screaming at you, and then they throw some music in, and it's just blaring completely. And we'll talk about how to control some of that audio when we talk about the editing software that we use, how we can adjust those audio levels to where it's pretty consistent throughout the video. And it's a key thing. Like I said, if video is important, if the aesthetic appeal is important, then the audio is even more important. So your audio needs to be level and clear. Really pay attention to background noises. Air conditioners running in the background. If you have a great big fan running, because you're hot in your bus, that fan is going to overwhelm your audio. One of the things you see in even the really good videos is people out filming along a beach or a riverfront, and the wind starts blowing really hard, and it just wears the microphone out. Not much you can do about that. Maybe film that section again when the wind goes down. It's okay to film and film and film the same thing over and over again. Currently, I'm just using the microphone on the iPhone today because I'm trying to make a video and show you that it's simple to take your phone, a tripod, and go make a video and start uploading to YouTube. So we'll move on to our next section now, which is editing. And for that, we're going to be in the office because we're going to be doing a lot of screenshots, and we're going to be working on a computer showing you how to get all of this information that you've put together, put into a video so that you can take 5 hours with a video and turn it into a 20-minute video and just keep cutting out parts that don't make any sense. So let's move on to that section and get you started on that. This next section, we've moved into the studio because we're going to be using the computer a lot when we film the sections on editing and thumbnails and titles and descriptions. So we'll be doing a lot of screenshots off the computer, so we went ahead and moved into the office. And the next thing we're going to talk about is music. Everybody includes music in their videos, but you need to understand how music works with YouTube. Anything that's licensed to an artist and has a copyright on it, you don't want that in your video. You want to stay away from it. So you don't want to be putting Eminem music in the background or music from your top country stars. No Blake Shelton or anybody can be playing, because if your channel gets monetized, they'll flag it for a copyright violation, and they'll send all of the money that video made to the artist that appeared in your video, because there's copyright on that. And inside the YouTube Creator Studio, is a place where there's audio files and you can go download all those tracks and put them in your video. Some of them require you to give credit to the artist, so pay attention to that. We use what's called Epidemic Sound because there's just a lot more music files over there, and you have some that have voice in them, you have artists singing in them, and it's not just music. But be very, very careful with your music that you don't use popular music that you can hear on the radio or on television, because if enough copyright flags in your channel is done. They'll cancel your channel. You'll never monetize, and you're pretty much finished with your experiment with YouTube. Let's move on to downloading everything from your phone to your PC. Now, if you're using an Android phone and you're using a PC, that process is real simple. Hook a USB cord up to your phone and go into your DCMI file on your phone and put everything over into a folder on the computer. If you have an iPhone, it's a more complicated process. So I use a program called Wondershare Dr. Fone. How we get the videos from the phone into the computer. Okay guys, remember, this is for iPhone users only. It's a little short tutorial on how to get your files from your iPhone onto the PC. Apple limits the file size that you can transfer through the standard transfer on the phone. So we use a little program called Wondershare Dr. Fone. So you can see the icon here. We'll click it. It'll bring it up. The one thing we want to look at is the teal colored icon, which is the phone manager. We'll click it. It'll connect to the iPhone that's plugged in to the computer. You just plug it in through a USB cable. You've got all this cool stuff here. You're thinking videos. It's not videos. It's under photos. So that's where it stores everything on your iPhone. So we'll click photos. You can see that it's initializing everything. Now it breaks it down by date when you go in. So everything that I've recorded or taken a picture of is today. I mean, there's some stuff from before. We'll just click this box here for the date, which is today's date, which is where we've been recording. We'll click the export button, which is this button here. Export to PC will come up. We'll click export to PC. All we need to do now is, once it verifies, we'll there we go. And we just go to the folder that we have created for today, which is the 7/31 of 2021 folder. Highlight it and click OK. Now you can see that it's going to export the photos. This may take a minute, so we may fade in and out right here. It takes a little while because you're downloading all of these big movie files. Some of them are long, some are short. You'll see that bar go bap, bap, bap. It'll get a bunch of them. The longer videos take longer. So we'll kind of fast forward to the end here. Okay, finally we get the export successfully. So we can either click OK or open folder. If we open the folder, bring this up, and we've got videos. If you have any pictures in the file, you'll get this HEIC warning for Apple's new format. But mostly we just have the videos that we have filmed so far today. All right. So now that we have those in the computer, you can see how we move everything from the iPhone to the computer. Once again, if you have the Android phone, it's just plug a cord in, go find your files, copy them, drag them over to the folder. The iPhone's a little more complicated. So now we're ready to move on to editing video. So we've shot the video, we've been cautious about how our lighting was, about how our audio was, And now we're ready to put it all together and edit it into a video. So we'll move to that step now. Okay, so now we've got all of our video. We shot all of our video, and we watched our lighting and our audio and all that, and then we downloaded it either by just simply moving it from our Android phone over to the computer, or we used the Dr. phone to move it from our iPhone, simply without all the headache and frustration that I went through originally when I learned that. So now we're ready to put a movie together, or a video together, and put it in its final stage. We want to cut out all the weird stuff. We want to add some music to it. We want to adjust our volume levels. We want to add some effects to it. We need an editing program. And the things we need to cut out is every time you start a video, you're pushing the button, pushing the end the button. There's interruptions in the middle of your video, and you're excuse me, but I'm filming video right now for YouTube. Okay, so now see, we have to cut something like that out. So what I use is a program called Wondershare Filmora. Wondershare Filmora X, which is version 10 right now. I also have, you can see here, I have the Adobe Creative Cloud, so I can use Adobe to edit video, but I found that the Wondershare was very easy to learn, very easy to put videos together, very easy to add effects. Don't get the Filmora Pro. In my opinion, stay with the Filmora X, and I'll put a link in below the video here so that you can just click on that. It's a very affordable program. I bought the I don't pay by the month, I just bought the program, and I get free updates and all that. I think when I bought it, it was like $65. Very, very affordable, but you need something powerful in order to get your YouTube up. So we'll click that icon, which I already have, so I've got Filmora open down here. So when you first open it, you get a screen that says, do you want to start a new video, or do you want to open an existing project? I clicked on new video, so we would be here. The first thing you need to do once you're in this screen and see this is this import tab right here. We need to get our video. So we go import, and then we import media files. So we click that, and we go, and I'll go through the process. We go into and find out where we put the videos at, which we put them in the 731 folder, and we'll click videos, and there's all the videos that we've shot, or at least that I've downloaded all day today. So I highlight one and hit Control A on my keyboard, which highlights them all. Click open, and it now imports all of those into Filmora so that we can start to work on this project. So I don't know, here's me sitting in a chair, and I don't know which of these videos is actually the right one, so we can double click. Well, first we want to click, see how they're all highlighted? If we drag them in, they all go. So click once so that we only have one highlighted. We can double click, and that'll come up over here. Okay. That was not the right video. So we'll see if this is the right video.
In the past, as we explained a little bit earlier.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure that that's the video I want. So I'll highlight that video, and I drag it down into the timelines down here. So just
hey guys, welcome back to Tango Romeo 87. This episode
now you may get
a
warning here.
Anything
we want to go with project settings, 1920 by 1080. So now we have our video in the editor. So we can go along and hit the play button here.
Hey guys.
Now, one thing you want to keep in mind is, if you look right down here, the blue track is your audio track. So we can see that we start talking about right here. So let's move that just before that. See the scissor? This is highlighted. Click that. Now this is split this into 2 frames. This is our wasted section of walking over to the camera and all, so we'll just delete that. Just hit the delete key on your keyboard when it's highlighted. Then we'll hit play again and see where we start.
Hey guys, welcome back to Tango Romeo 87.
So you see we cut out all the beginning.
This episode is going to be a little bit different than anything we've...
Now, we're doing this video, and I typically wear headphones when I edit the video so that you can adjust the volume, but I'm going to leave it so you can hear what goes on. So we'll go back to the beginning. When we talk about volume, and we talked about that earlier in our audio, where one section's real high and one section's real low, and then your viewer on the TV is clicking the remote, turns the volume up, and then it comes back screaming at them. They turn it down 1 or 2 times and they leave your video. They're like, I'm done with this. So when we're playing the video,
hey guys, welcome back to Tango Romeo 87.
we can come down here on this line,
is going to be a
and
little
we
bit
can
different
click on that line and drag it.
we've done in the past.
That turns the volume of the video way down, or we can move it all the way up.
Too hot here in North Carolina to work on the bus today.
Now the
And
audio
we've got periods of rain coming and going, so we're kind of stranded.
One of the things you'll want to do when you're editing video is make sure that your speakers for your computer are set at about 65-70%, and then you'll be able to get your audio where people can turn it up if they want, or they can turn it down. So we have our video in here.
What a lot of requests have been on my social media across Facebook and Instagram and
So
Twitter.
we can go
and
on.
YouTube.
I'm going to pause it. The bottom bar down here, we can drag it out and we can see that this video goes forever. Now one way to fix that is when you put your mouse in this section, you can see the arrow lights up. Drag it backwards and it gives you less of a timeline to work with. So we can move over here,
And your tags when you upload that video to YouTube.
and we're
so that
closer to
everything
the end now. We
matches,
want to watch and see
and
what
you can
happens
see the
there.
algorithm that'll get your videos in front of people. Finally, once all that's done, we'll talk about how to publish the video. Once the
We'll move it a little bit further along. What you want to do is get to the ending part.
introduction to YouTube, how it works, how you get a monetized channel, and how you make it work for you.
Now we ended right there. So once again, we'll hit our click button. That brings up this box at the end. You see you can highlight which one you want to delete. We'll delete that one. And now we've ended that section of the video. So we move to our next video. We think it's this one.
Let's talk about YouTube. YouTube started as equipment's pretty basic. To get started on YouTube, you do not need to go.
Now see, this is all the ridiculous video, and some of this
Let's
stuff I
talk about
shot
YouTube.
multiple times. So I got to go through and determine which one I want to use.
And
So the next thing that was on our list was an intro to YouTube. So that's probably what this is. We'll pay attention once again to where the audio starts. Right here, you can see that we have spikes in the audio. We'll adjust that one up, adjust this one. So that when we go between the two, it'll be about the same. So we'll back up about right there, and we'll cut out that section. So now our audio, we got rid of all of the other stuff. So now you can see the transition between the two.
Introduction to YouTube, how it works, how you get a monetized channel, and how you make it work for you. Let's talk about YouTube. YouTube started as a place to share.
Okay, so now we've got our little intro section from the chair, and now we're standing talking about the introduction to YouTube. Now, let's watch that again as we transition between the two. It just kind of goes.
And how you make it work for you.
Let's
talk about YouTube.
So let's go up here to these tabs at the top, and we're going to go to the one called Transitions. And I'm going to go to Favorites. You've got all kinds of transitions in here. We can do a box flip, for instance. And you can double click that, and you can see this is the effect you're going to get if you put that in. So if we drag this down and we want to put it right between the two. All right, so we'll bring this line out again so you can see more what we're doing. And I'll delete that. We grab one, click our mouse button once, and drag it down, and we split the two frames. All right, so now let's watch and see what happens.
So let's move on and get into the introduction to YouTube.
Now we get a better
how
transition.
It works, how you get a monetized channel, and how you make it work for you. Let's talk about YouTube. YouTube started as a place to share videos, and was subsequently.
Now I could go on all day on Filmora on how you edit, because we can double click this timeline and bring up all kinds of things like color. We can do color enhancements. You know, we can change our thresholds, our value. there's so much in here that I probably would have to do a whole video on just Filmora. And if you want to see me, if you want me to spend the time to create a video on all the things you can do with Filmora, or the majority of what I do, put a comment below and let me know. Make sure you subscribe to the channel while you're at it. The only other thing we're going to cover here on this real quick, so that we don't spend all day on this video, is, let's say that we want to put a music track in here. So we go back to our media files. Now I've already downloaded some and put them in my shared media. The shared media folder will let you cross between different videos you make. That'll show up every time you start a new video, the files you have in here. So we'll double click this. We got that sound. We got this sound. So we'll just pick one. We'll bring it down and drop it. Click and hold the button. Alright, we'll start out again. Just click. When you click on this, just hold your mouse button down and then drag it down into the first music one. Now, I'm going to start the video again and show you what the problem is going to be. See the problem? Alright. So I'm going to click on the video now and play what we have down here, and I'll show you where the problem lies at.
Hey guys, welcome back to Tango Romeo 87. This episode is going to be a little bit different.
So now we have this loud music screaming over top of us, and you can't hear what I'm saying. So we'll back up to the beginning, and the same as the other one, put your mouse down on that line and hold the button and drag that down. So now you're going to have background music.
Hey guys, welcome back to Tango Romeo 87.
While the video is playing,
this episode is going to be a little bit different
than
anything we've done in the past, as we explained a little bit earlier. Mainly because it's just too hot here in North Carolina to work on the bus today, and we've got periods of rain coming and going, so we're kind of stranded. And I'm going to respond
nice
to
background music.
what a lot of requests have been on my social media.
And now you can line by line, you can highlight each line. Whichever one's highlight, when you cut the clip, that will cut that, and you can delete that. But we'll go to the end, and let's say this song is longer, which it's not. But if you had one that was longer than your video, you would just right click in it and come up and put trim end playhead. Make sure that this red playhead right here is right at the end of your video, and it's kind of something that you need to know. So we'll double click, we'll move this here, we'll bring another song down, and we'll put it here. So now we see that what happens is when the video ends, the song would keep playing. And we're not at the end of our video anymore, so this plays for however long. So if we brought it to the end of the playhead, and we can use the arrow keys to move it until the last picture, right click in the music, trim into playhead, and it puts the end right there. Another nice feature is this little tiny white tab that shows up when you're in there. If you can get hold of that and move it, you see how that angles it? That fades the music off. So I'll turn the music up a little bit.
If people will watch on YouTube.
And it just fades out. Alright, I'm going to delete that out of there. One other little thing that I will show you is kind of crazy. You're playing your video,
Tango Romeo,
and you're talking about something, so let's go find something cool here. I got all kinds of stuff in shared media. This is not going to be okay. So here's a snapshot. We'll bring it down and put it in the timeline right here. So now when we play the video,
welcome back to Tango Romeo 87.
That shows
this
up
episode.
there. If you don't want it to show up and you want it to show up picture in picture, just double click this. You'll see that you have the adjustment lines on it, so you can adjust this. Put it over here on the wall like a picture. Rotate it if you want to, whatever you want to do. And you can add effects to that, transitions to that. You can fade it in, you can fade it out. But now when we play our video, instead of covering the whole screen,
this episode is going to be a little bit different than...
So that's basically the introduction to how to edit video. You'll have to go through and make a lot of changes to your videos. We didn't change this one that people will watch on YouTube. So we know that's the end. We would want to come down here and clip that off so that we didn't have me reaching for the camera trying to turn the button off. So once all that's done, you would go to export. Now, one thing you want to do, let me back up a minute. One thing you want to do while you're doing this video is come to your file at the top and save project as, and give your project a name. So we'll say teach editing. That's what we'll call it. That's not saving a video, that's just saving the project so that if your power goes out or your computer crashes, you don't lose everything you worked on. Now the program will work on autosave, but still every now and then I come along and click file and save project so I don't lose my work. Earlier, and that's about as much as I can teach you on how to edit videos without doing a very long video. So when you're done, you want to click export. It's going to validate everything. Then it's going to bring up a box. Teach editing is what we called our project, so that's what it's going to be. Choose a folder to save it to, and then you click export. Once you click export, it's going to go out of here as a WMV, or it can go out as an MP4. YouTube will work with either one of those. And you'll see here it's converting. 8 minutes and 4 seconds until it's done. That'll kind of go back around. It'll pop up a box to find target. When it's done, you can click find target. It'll open the folder, and then you can watch the video in high definition, because this is a real low definition preview that you have. Make sure that it is the way you want it to be, and then you're ready to upload that video to YouTube. So if you've got any questions on that, put some comments down below, and let me know what you want to see. We'll move on to creating thumbnails. The first thing you want to do in that process of creating thumbnails is you need a picture from your video. We haven't really done an exciting video yet to have a thumbnail, but you want something that's dynamic and that looks good, that you can attract people's attention with. So you can go through your video, and there's a really goofy picture, and right here, over here, you'll see on this side you have this snapshot thing. Bam, it'll save a snapshot. So you can go through and find a couple snapshots that you want, and pretty much that'll be what it is. I'm going to go back over here to my project media. I think I've got one. Where we're working, we can bring this video in. And whatever. We'll save a snapshot. We're not trying to so we'll pretend that this is the pretend part. We pretended that we edited a great video, we're happy with it, the music lays in. We've put some fast motion stuff in there and laid music tracks over it, adjusted our music up and down. We're ready to go. So we're ready to upload this video to YouTube, and we're going to need a thumbnail when we upload that to YouTube that attracts people's attention. So I took some snapshots. Let's move on to creating thumbnails. Okay, let's move on to thumbnail creation. Before you upload your YouTube video, you should always create a good thumbnail, because one of the first things that asks you when you start uploading a video is, what thumbnail do you want to use? So I use a free version of Canva on the internet, as you can see in the address up here, and I'll put a link down below for this also. It's Canva, Canva.com, create YouTube thumbnails. So we just click on start a YouTube thumbnail, and it brings up this Canva. Don't know why it's free. Right over here you see uploads. That's where we've uploaded everything before, and we're going to upload media from our device. Now when you take snapshots, go to Documents, Wondershare Filmora, and Snapshot. And right there's all the snapshots that I've ever taken and we'll just use this one. Double click it and it will start uploading. You'll see over here, right here, the little thing gets full, and then it puts this in. Click it, it moves it over there. Drag your corners out, put yourself in there the way you want to. And yeah, I know that's a goofy looking thumbnail, but this is for practice purpose only. Then you can come over and get some text. Then you can use just a white heading, or you can use one of these crazy things. Keep it simple when you create a thumbnail. Only put enough writing on there for it to actually get your point across without overdoing it, because people aren't going to read a paragraph on a thumbnail. So I'm going to look at elements right here, and we'll say graph. Now be careful, because some of this stuff is not free. If it says free, it's free. If it's got a little crown by it, it's not. Looks like everything that I want, you're going to pay for. Okay, so here's this one. We'll take this graph here and we'll click it, and it'll go over here, and we'll put this in here. It's kind of indicative of build a YouTube channel, right? We'll go some text, and we'll put, move this up, highlight that one. How to YouTube channel or bus/van life. And we'll highlight that. We'll change the color of it. We'll make it white, and we'll stretch that in here. You can see that it's a little hard to see, so we'll go over here and we'll put some effects on it, and that gives us this shadow, and we can choose red or green. We'll choose green. Come on down, and you can see that we have transparency. We want to bring all the way up. We want to blur it out a little bit, make the offset a little bigger. Direction. We might change the color of that text again to something that shows up really well. Okay, and then you get the point right there. That's not a really pretty thumbnail, but you can play with all of these functions in here that are free and create a thumbnail, and you give it a name, and it's how to YouTube, and download it. It'll say PNG suggested. That's fine. Download. It's a horrible looking this is not the one I'm actually going to use. I'm just trying to get through this. Click X, and we already have that. So the next thing that we have to do is upload our video to YouTube, create a title, a description, put some tags into it, and then we'll hit the publish button, and then we'll talk a little bit about promotion. So we've got our thumbnail, so let's go over to YouTube now and get this thing uploaded that we just created. Okay, so we've shot our footage, we've edited the footage, and we've created a thumbnail, and we're ready to upload our video to YouTube so the whole world can watch it. So we'll open Google, and we'll go to YouTube. You'll come into the YouTube, and provided that you've started a channel, you'll click your little icon there, and this will come down, and you want to click your channel. This is where we're in our channel, and we want to click manage videos. And once we're in the manage videos, we come up here and we click create. Upload video. So now we get this screen, and we select our file. So now we're ready to upload a video. we just simply go down here to select files. Select files. We know where everything's at that we stored. You should know where it's at on your computer. And we go find the video of teach editing, which is a horrible video, but we're going to go through this process just to show you how it all goes. So we'll double click that. It'll do a couple checks on it, and then it brings you up to this screen. The first thing it's going to ask you is to create a title. So we'll create a title like how to start a YouTube channel. YouTube channel for your bus van life project. Alright, you want to keep the title short because you don't want it to truncate the title when people are looking on their cell phone or that type of thing, where it goes how to start a YouTube channel for your bus van life project, because blah 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 dot 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 is what replaces the end of that, and people don't see it. So we've got a title now. We have to have a description. The description should contain words that came from your title, and that's where we're double stacking for the algorithm to try to get placement on YouTube. So in this video we show you step by step how to start a YouTube channel for your bus/van life adventures. This is an introduction video showcasing the basics on how to get started filming, editing, and posting YouTube videos with your cell phone and just a few other supplies. So basically we'll put that. Now the next thing you come to is thumbnail. So now we have to upload a thumbnail. We click that, go to downloads, and the very first one will be how to YouTube. So that's the thumbnail that we created a few minutes ago. You can see this vidIQ. I don't really use vidIQ much anymore at all, and I really need to uninstall it from this computer, because in order to put up better videos and find better keywords, I'm switching everything over to TubeBuddy. Really helpful program, and once again, you spend a little bit of money for it, but it's very affordable and it does a whole lot. I used to use vidIQ for all that, but like I said, I've transitioned everything to TubeBuddy, and I'll put a link below to TubeBuddy. So we've got our playlist here. I'm going to create a new playlist, which is how to YouTube your bus life. Okay. Visibility for this is going to be public. So I've created that. Now I choose that, and that's where it puts the video. Most all of my videos go into the bus conversion build. That'll eventually be bus life on the road. We'll have another one in there. That's the old homesteading stuff, the weight loss that we don't do, an old employer, and some workout videos that aren't public anymore. So we chose that. Now it'll come down and ask you, is this made for kids? That's a whole different version of YouTube. If you're making videos for children, you don't need to be in here at all. You need to move on to the create content for children. If you have a paid promotion, like say DeWalt Tools is sponsoring your YouTube video and giving you money to talk about them, you have to click that. Automatic chapters. Now we get down here to tags. So how to YouTube. And it'll give you choices, and we'll put bus life. Things that relate to what you do. As soon as you put one, put a comma, it'll let you start another one. Monetize your YouTube. And I chose channel. Now we've used 59 of 500 characters. You want to have a lot of tags in there that relate to you. One of the things you do is go search your competitors that are doing a similar thing and see what tags they're using. If you use TubeBuddy or vidIQ, you can see their tags, and you can copy the tags. Now, if they've got the name of their bus in there or some other identifying unique tag, take it out. Don't use it, because YouTube can penalize you for that. So I don't worry about doing any of this. The standard YouTube license is what I want. How to install is the category that I'm in. So all that's good. And basically there we are. Now the next thing I have, and until you get your monetization, you won't have it. It'll ask you, do you want to monetize this, and what type of ads do you want to run? We'll skip that. Video elements, you can't do these until your video uploads, and we've got 6 minutes left before that uploads. But that's it. In screen and add cards, these are things that you want to do on your YouTube channel because it helps you get placement for suggested videos and all when you're suggesting a certain video from your list equally across the board. The next thing it'll give you is checks. Once this is uploaded, it's going to run an immediate check for copyright violations. And if it finds any, it's going to put a big red mark up there and tell you you're in trouble. The next one will be visibility. In order for the public to see it, you want to choose the public circle. This video, this time, and this time only, I'm going to put as unlisted so that no one can see it, because this is our crappy little video that we just created. In a little bit I'll edit all this footage into a great big how-to video, and I'll delete this one off the channel and put the public one up. Now down here you can schedule a date and time to make your video available. So if you don't want it to go up today, let's say you always post on Mondays, but you're getting done with it today on Saturday, you can schedule it to post Monday at its regular time, so you're not putting videos out early. Then it'll give you some things down here to do. You can also set it as an instant premiere when you go public. I never do. So basically we just have to wait for the video to upload, and then we get to go through some of the other checks, and we'll get check marks in all the boxes up here at the top, and we'll be ready to publish the video for the world to see. Okay, video's uploaded. It says down at the bottom that it's uploaded the SD and the HD version. Checks complete, no issues found. So now we can move on. We can skip monetization because I'm not going to shoot this video out for monetization. Like I said, we're going to make this video go away shortly. Add an end screen. What you want to do is click add. Keep an end screen simple. One video and one subscribe option. Don't put a bunch of videos on there or you confuse people. So it'll put a playlist, and we don't want it to have a playlist, so we'll choose a playlist. We'll choose the playlist bus conversion build. So that's going to be the playlist that shows up at the end of the video that gives people an option to change. So we created an end screen, real simple. They can subscribe from there, and you can add a card. Now a card is, I don't know, 2-3 minutes into the video or wherever people might be leaving the video. We want to add a playlist again. We want them to be, I like to mirror those, my cards and my playlist, or my cards and my end screens all have the same thing. So bus conversion build is 17 videos. And we've added the card. That puts this little click box up that you see in people's video. So we'll save that. And we've got cards and videos. Checks all worked out really well. We don't have any problems with copyright. Visibility, save or publish. You will want to choose public because you want the world to see your video. And when I finish this up and create this video, I'll choose the public option and put that up. And if you're subscribed to my channel and you've clicked the bell for notification, you'll get a notification in your YouTube notifications that, hey, Tango Romeo 87 just put a new video up. Alright, so here's a link to your video. At this point, copy that. You'll use that in a little bit. So unlisted, and if we choose public, it'll say publish. But we're not going to, like I said, I don't want to. This video is just not even a video yet. Alright, so now our video is hidden, unlisted, and that video is ready to go. Had you chose public and published it, it would immediately be ready at the link you copied, and you could start sharing that on your social media and letting people know, hey, I've got a new video up, it's about this, and hopefully it helps somebody make a video. So the next thing we'll do is talk a little bit about promoting the video. You don't want to spam Facebook groups that you belong to, but it's okay to join the groups that relate to you. Schoolie Nation, Schoolie Planet, Schoolie Community. And if you've got a video you think is going to help people, post it in there one time and tell them, hey, I've got a new video out for you guys that might want to learn how to start a YouTube channel. This is a great video, and leave it alone. Another thing you could do, put it on your Instagram immediately and tell people, hey, I've got a new YouTube video up. And if you've dealt with Instagram and you're not a 10,000 follower person that's able to put links with videos, make sure your YouTube channel is listed in your profile as a link as your web page. And when you put a video up, tell people, hey, I got a new video up. The link is in my bio or in my profile, so people will go look at that. Ask them to subscribe. Put it on Twitter. If you want to make a little TikTok video, if you're on TikTok, promote it there. Put it in your story on Instagram. Put it on your main Facebook page where all your friends, family, and Facebook friends are. If you're at this level where you're trying to monetize, you should already have a Facebook business page. Make sure you put it there. So promote your video out and make sure that people have a chance to start watching it, and hopefully they share it with other people. Another thing I do on Facebook is when I'm in my groups and somebody says, hey, how do I get this rust off the floor of my bus? I'm like, oh, you use a wire cut brush on a grinder and do that and sand it. Matter of fact, I've got a video, and then link your video to answer their question. Hopefully some people will see that. You want to monetize your channel and you want your channel to grow, but you don't want to do it and make people mad in the process. So be very careful how you promote, but always promote your channel until you have enough people that you're being recommended by the algorithm a lot. You're going to have to promote it if you want to grow. If you have questions along the way, if there's things you need to know, put comments. I'll try to answer all of those. I really appreciate that you took the time to watch this video. You've learned that you only need a cell phone. The Filmic Pro is a great little app to do the filming with. Just download Filmic, and I'll put a link down there just so you know how it's spelled, but look in your app store for Filmic, and you'll see that you have a lot of settings that you can change your lighting, background coloring, and all that. Zoom, focal points, you can lock your white balances so that you look professional. You know now that music, don't use music that is mainstream copyrighted music. So you have the audio library over here. You can click into that, and this is nothing but music that you can use in your videos. So you can search it for certain things, or you can play it and say, hey, what's that one? Yeah, man, I like it. So, and then you can download these and use them in your videos. Just pay attention if you license type. If it has a little mark out by it, it's something that you need to link back to the creator of it. So you've learned how to get all the videos off your phone, off your iPhone or Android. You learned the basics of editing, at least how to get into the editing program and start playing with it. Drag things down the line. Thumbnail is very important. Make sure that you create a thumbnail with color and brightness and something that's not over typed on, that relates to what you're doing, and hopefully people see it and go, hey, that looks good, I'll click it. When you upload your video, get a good title, description, and keywords that match what you've said in the video, because like I said, they will transcribe it and look, and the more of those that match, the higher you're going to rank. And the more your video is viewed, the higher you rank. So get out there and promote that video. So thanks again. If you have questions, ask them in the comment section below. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe, because we're going to do more videos in this series to break down how to do each individual thing better. This is just a quick introductory video. Plus we've got the bus build going on, and when the bus is built, then we'll have bus life, where we live out on the road and live free, as we say here at Tango Romeo 87, building freedom. So thanks again, and if you want to see more videos, tell me what you want to see the video about, and we can help you get your YouTube channel up and monetized and making money. Thanks. That's it. I'm out.
Thank you.